Hey everybody, Ryan here at eTrailer.com. Today on our 2011 Ford Fusion, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install the Roadmaster Brake-Lite Relay Kit. Now our Brake-Lite Relay is going to be one of 6 main components needed to flat tow our Ford Fusion. The other 5 are going to be the base plate, our diode wiring, our braking system, safety cables, and a tow bar. Now the reason you're going to need a Brake-Lite relay is that when you're flat towing your Fusion behind your motorhome and you turn the motorhome's blinker on, the blinker back here will flash normally unless you happen to hit the brakes inside your motorhome at the same time. Then what's going to happen is back here, the brakes are going to override our turn signals, and then other motorists won't know if we're turning or stopping. Now the way the relay is going to work is that it's going to tap into your brake pedal position sensor wire, and it's going to separate those circuits. Now installation is going to be relatively simple. We're only going to be working with a handful of wires to get the job done. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and put it on together now. Now for our Brake-Lite relay, we're not going to be using this blue wire. This is if you have a push button start, and we don't. So I just cut it out of the way and covered it with a little tape. Now our red and our white wire, what we're going to do with those is extend them by using some butt connectors and extra wire and run those in that grommet that we made into the engine compartment. Now what we're going to have to do next is find our brake light switch, which if we follow our brake pedal arm up a little ways, there will be a sensor with an electrical connector on it. There will be 4 wires coming out. I've identified that the brake light signal wire will be the purple wire with a white stripe. What we'll do is cut that in half, and on the side that is closest to the connector, what we're going to do is take our green wire and our very thin red wire from the indicator light, connect those together, and connect it to that purple and white wire closest to the connector for our brake light switch. Now once that's done, we will take the black wire from our brake light relay and connect it to the other end of the purple and white wire, our brake light switch. Now the only wire left to connect at this point down here is the very thin black wire from our indicator light. And what I went ahead and did was connect it to that black wire that we ran in earlier from under the engine compartment, and I just did that using a butt connector. And here's where that red and white wire from our brake light relay comes into the engine compartment. Now the white wire is a ground wire. So what I did was I actually just connected it here at this factory ground like I did the other ones, just using a ring terminal. And the red wire is going to get connected to a power source. So I brought it over here, and we'll need to find a fuse that has power. And we're looking for a fuse that has power only when the key is in the on position. So when the key's in the off position, you don't want your fuse that you're going to use to have any power at all. So what we did was we took this included fuse tap, connected it to the end of our power wire, and I actually found a fuse right here. It's a 20 amp fuse that we're going to use. So we take our fuse tap and we put that factory 20 amp fuse closest to the bottom. And then we're going to take our included 10 amp fuse and put that in the top slot. Then we can just push that back into place. And once again, I actually did have to kind of trim an opening here on our cover. That way this doesn't get pinched and damaged. Now while you have someone in the RV and you're connected, it's a good idea to check your lights, specifically our brake light relay, to make sure it is working properly. So what you would do is turn on your turn signal in the motorhome and then apply the motorhome's brakes. And what should happen is your turn signal should stay lit and the other lights should be brake lights. And that'll do it for our look at and our installation of the Roadmaster Brake-Lite Relay Kit on our 2011 Ford Fusion.